myself. Thanks a lot, Trahern, for connecting with me, bro. I know this is kind of weird, right? Like I just messaged out of nowhere. I'm like, yo, check out Numerology. On one side of my business, I've been doing this for about 3 years, and I basically work with a lot of people in Australia. I've have a couple thousand different clients over the last 2.5 years, and it's basically taken off. It's helped people make a lot of money in their lives. And then, there's that whole thing that, I'm not sure if you were there for that when, everybody just started adding people that we don't know. And then we never get a chance to talk or connect. And there's Bitcoin this, Minecraft that. I'm like, okay. So
please don't remind me.
I was thinking about putting a post being like, hey, any of my friends in Bitcoin, just so I can know who to remove. But I got nothing wrong with digital coin. The reality is that everyone always messages you like, hey man, so what's up? Are you doing your thing? And there's no development to the relationship or friendship. And people are just like Hail Mary, like pissing people off. And I used to be like that. So then I started thinking, you know what, if I want to have an impact and I want to gain my influence, I got to go out there and be a go-giver. And what I wanted to do for you is give you like a $270 session. And basically for the next hour, just like blow your mind on what this stuff can do. And, and share that value with you in your life. If you felt good about it, then, maybe there might be some work to do. Maybe you can point me in the right direction, some people. But this is guerrilla warfare marketing, bro. Like we're actually out there, digital age. And I wanted to know if you had a lifeline, because I do this and people are like, get out of here. And then I basically just unfriend and I know how to help call my list. So This is a really super awesome blessing to do this for you. This is a super sacred thing that happens here. If you have any questions, let me know. But what I want to do is I want to talk about your birthday, give you some insight, and then I talk about your name, give you some more insight, and then I'll give you a written report. So that's like an instruction manual to your life. This is nuts. You said you used to be in Gaz?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was with them for quite a while, quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
I was with them from before they started GAZ. I kind of joined Matthew Jang's network, and Julian Sherman.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just I didn't have any luck with the training and stuff, and then when I started poking around, because I was like, I don't know if you remember like Cody Harris and all that.
Yeah.
Anyway, when they had all his trainings and stuff back there, when I started poking around doing research, I basically found out that all the training that was done by Cody Harris and everything was like super outdated and just garbage, and he didn't really know what he was doing. He was still he was flying by the seat of his pants during the trainings and stuff.
Sure.
And so then I went out and I started investing in different training courses and all that sort of stuff. And so that's kind of when I realized that there was still a lot of holes in their training and their system and stuff. I mean, I recently seen inside the back office of GAZ, and they've made huge improvements. And so they're definitely doing a lot better than they were. So I am considering going back at one point, but just not yet.
Yeah, there's another rebrand coming through. They're renamed Affiliate Institute, so they call themselves AI now. And
oh, really?
This is going to be released today. So this is like inside track information. Like in about 2 hours, they're going to start talking about this. They just had the event in Vegas. So yeah, some cool big things happening down the pipeline. It still breaks down to the same old story. Your affiliate marketing online, sharing your story, doing the social media thing, capitalizing on the digital income. And it's been pretty cool. I've been in with, Balaj, obviously, right?
Oh, yeah. I know all about Balaj Cardone.
Yeah. So basically him and I are high school buddies. And he showed me numerology when we first got into Enagic, like in 2015, 2014. And I'm like, dude, this is nuts. And it basically just took off from there. So now basically you're doing something completely different. I noticed something about copy. So you sell training on how to get your game right.
I kind of, to be honest, in the last little bit, I stepped back from what I was doing online because my wife fell ill and everything and ended up in the hospital and
sorry to hear it.
Almost lost her and everything. And it just it took a lot out of me. So I just had to put everything on the back burner.
Dude, that's nuts.
And when that happened, it gave me a lot of time to, like, because I was just grinding, gave me a lot of time to reflect on what I was doing. And when I was sitting there and reflecting on it, I realized that I was kind of following a bit of a path that I wasn't super passionate about. That was a lot more work than it was worth, kind of deal. Anyway, but what I did study for a long time was attraction marketing and personal branding. And so you were talking about how you're, doing the copy and paste and adding random people and harassing. Yeah, I put together like miniature courses on the proper way to go about building like an organic audience, right? Like if you're gonna stay away from paid advertisement and stuff like this, because a lot of people can't afford that. So I would teach how to go about it the organic route. So where you're not coming across as that spammer kind of person just sending copy and paste messages, where you're building actual relationships and all that, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's what I was focused on there for quite a while.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's so cool. Because anyway, we'll get started on that because like, that's one of those things that it's just like it's what like the bane of our society. We're like, damn it, like dude, we have such a powerful opportunity, and people are just direct mailing other people's inboxes.
Yeah.
So, cool. Okay, great. And so right now, what I want to do is I want to talk about your birthday. I want to share some of this information with you and see what it does for you. That paragraph I sent to you, it was basically just based on the numbers in your name, Trahern Had. Okay, so there are other ones out there, and I basically like copy out definitions. And you are recording this, so feel free to reflect on this later, but this is nuts. First thing we see is your birthday, the 29th of September, 1989. That's a 9-month, and if you add up 27, that's a 9-day. And if you add up 1989, it adds up to 9 again. If you keep squeezing it all together, it's a 27. And so we see a birthday that looks like 999. And then when we add 9, that becomes 27 again, and 2 plus 7 is 9. So your life path 9, and you got all of these 9s in your chart. And the reason why that's a big deal is because 9 would offer the quality of master. So wants to master something, or serve the planet, or serve others. We're always thinking about other people. There's a global perspective inside of 9. The fact that there's 4 in your birthday and it's consumed by 9s, this thing can feel like immense energy from other people. Like you could be like absolutely energetic sensitive, huge heart that can see everything and feel everything for others. But then when we look at we'll see this in the names as we get there. We'll look at the birthday. This isn't the ego. This isn't like, oh, look at me. That kind of stuff is a little distasteful. The 9s are more thinking about how can I serve the planet, change it, help it, heal it. We're thinking about the animals and the future, and like this can get really heavy into the conspiracies and really strong into the truth of things. So the 9 is kind of like, look, I can go that far. I don't have to stay in the surface.
That's really funny because I can't even count how many times I've been called a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, me too. For me, it's entertainment because I'm like, see, I call their bullshit. And I'm like on society, I'm like, governments and all that stuff. I'm like, guys, it's not even real. Like, it's not even real. And like, I know what that feeling is to go down the rabbit hole. The 9 is like the master rabbit hole. It's like, it has the entire cosmos in its perspective. So to call you wise is an understatement. This can get out of body. This can go astral. This can go into the past and the future. Like there's an overarching cosmic power that shows up in here, and it's almost difficult to even be a human being. It's an all-seeing feeling.
Oh, you know what? I constantly feel like I have so much potential, and it's so much that's overwhelming, and I don't know where to put it. I don't know where to like channel it. You know what I mean?
I can imagine.
I feel like I have way too many options.
Well, the problem is that like with the 9, if it's 1-9, we're saying master of, okay, what's the next number? It's like master of master of master of masters. This is a very like, that saying, jack of all trades, master of none. You're like, I want to master them all. And so this feeling of you being able to express a lot of potential is very overwhelming. When we look at your name, it's a tool that you have in front of you to actually get there. So when I'm looking at Trahern, super fun guy, great guy to crack a couple beers with. Let's smoke a dude. Let's have fun. Let's get into deep convo. The feeling inside of the Trahern is like, hey, I'm a fun guy. I'm a loving guy, and I care about making other people feel good. I just want to create a loving experience or a fun experience. You're a great friend. This is what Trahern's going to say. Then we look at your full name, and this is where I'm kind of getting it. It's exactly the same thing. Like, this is who you are. So there's going to be an artistic side of you, a big kid side of you, a part that feels a lot of love and a lot of loyalty and a lot of giving and caring for others. But then it may show up, and we're going to take a look at this Josiah right now. Smart. Now this one says intelligent. This is going to add to some frustration because one part says, look, I'm just having fun. Another part's like, yeah, but I know something and I'm wise and people are going to, I can say something and it's going to help someone get to where they need to go. So this is what Josiah is saying on the inside. And then how about Brennan? We're going to take a look at your last name. And we see another business level of leadership. This is like, let's make a deal and let's do something together. Like when you shake a Brennan's hand, you better be following their direction. They're not going to let you go, but they're absolutely going to take you where they need to go. And that's a nice feeling. Then we look at Trahern Brennan, and we look at this one here, and this is actually a good vibe. There is frustration here. Like, this is like, look, I know I want to do stuff. Law of attraction is going to be a really powerful feel in there, but then it squeezes down into a 4, which says, I'm just going to work. I've got a limiting belief, or maybe I don't take myself as seriously, or there's too many things to do. I have to do every single line and make sure I'm very practical and connected. Whereas the other side is like magnetic. The 4 will say, let's work hard. I'm not afraid of a job. I'm not afraid to do my work properly. And I'm going to do it with precision and ambition. So in a business, you'll build your own. You're going to look at the training and see holes in it. Like, you're like, this isn't, no. Like, there's something that's not right. And then that feeling of the 4 is going to want to make sure you either get it right or you follow the rabbit hole yourself. But we get lost in there because it's like that feeling of like, I'm going to stay and do this until I figure it out. And then I'm going to stay and do this until I figure it out. And then that can be like the whole make money slow vibe, right? And will become successful. Like, we trust this. This is a good person. I mean, I feel it. I'm like, okay, cool, I get it. You can message this guy, see what he's up to. Let's see if there's a chance for success. And I didn't look at your numbers until now. And now I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, I get it. I understand. You want to be successful, but you kind of have to do your own thing. Like, you want to make it happen, but you kind of have to set your own foundation. And this is the difficult part, because then the other numbers like super cosmic, spiritual, and they're leading you out of your body. Whereas the other parts of your numbers are like, let me help, love, serve, and give. And then the inside part's stuck with the mind, being like, I know I can do this. I know I can do this. I know I can do this. And then when we come out with the Trahern Brennan, it says, look, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to work really hard. And it's like that vibration of like, if you want something done right, you do it yourself. And that could be make money slow, again, because we want to leverage. We want to set something out there and float it off and then let people attract to it, like passive income, residual stuff, online marketing. I make money when I sleep, that kind of thing. So when we're looking at this, I'm like, all right, so what would we do? Because we would want to, change it, move it up. There's a couple of things that you could do. Now, we'll look at like the name, and this is what I do. I put letters on people's names. Weird. And it's like and this is where it gets a little tough to talk to someone who's, because when I talk to someone, I'm like, hey, let me pitch you on numerology here for a second. Free session, no big deal. If you like it, let's work together some other time. Or maybe you share me with your audience or something, whatever you feel inspired to do. I just want to let people know that stuff exists. But, Balaj, he's got the W in his name, right? Like, he put this thing in there, and it was because he wanted to vibrate on a higher level. And so if you were to do the same thing, you're like, I like that, I feel that, we would be looking at the letter D, the letter M, or the letter V. So imagine, Trahern V. Brennan, or Trahern M. Brennan, or Trahern D. Brennan. That vibe there now says, global visionary, ain't no lack of mentality or lack of belief is going to stop me. Nothing like that. My head's not going to get in my own way, which is what we do all the time. And now it says I'm going to keep soaring. And this is what happened. Balaj wanted to soar, but then he fell down. He wanted to jump off, but he couldn't. And his name says, well, let's just take gravity out of the equation and let magnetism take you out. And this is where we would say a top-end name, badass. I'm going to spend the next 10 years. I'm going to make $1 million a month. Let's do this. Like, let's invest. And this is not a bad look. You're born in 89. And then you think about this for a second. That massive level of intuition, that massive level of cosmic power, you're like, dude, I can see it. I know that it's out there. That's where I'm going. And I just don't know how to get there. If you're thinking that ambitious because of your numbers can see the end of the universe, it's kind of like, yes, I want to make a dent in it. I want to find the REM and I want to absolutely make this world feel the impact. It's not about the money for you. It's about impact. Like I want to get that out there. That feeling is there to help people. So this name would be the most serious. But then there's another sweeter side of Trahern. Like you're a fun-loving guy. You know, you're emotional. You're connected to your feelings. You know, it's not afraid to have a deep conversation with you. Like, you know, it's a good like bro talk you can have with your buddies. You know, it's not just like push it away, right? Like the epic beard will scare him away, but he's a softie. He's a big heart. Got a loving vibe to him. So then you go into a halfway mark point, which is where I'm at. And instead of the D, you take B, K, or T. So imagine Trahern B Grennan, Trahern K Grennan, or Trahern T Grennan. Now this vibe says I got my business up front. I've like encompassed all of my spiritual energy inside of my inner temple. So it's a very calm and connected place on the inside of you. And then it balances between love and money. So it wants to grab the powerful love and relationship, family, and also wants to do and speak its game and do it, like speak its purpose into the world. So responsibility is in here, but it's like the stepping stone to the cliff if you want to go with that high of a name. There is also taking Trahern Josiah, and then you take that one with an entire, like a letter. And this is where it gets a little strange because this is your legal name. This is where you pay taxes. This is where you get, you know, driver's license and your bank card and all of the, maybe not bank card, bank account, but, you know, the bigger stuff, like the big ticket items. And your name is literally imbalancing you outside of wealth. So it's like, if I can build it, I can't seem to hold it. Or I want to have fun and enjoy it. Or I can't make it in fast enough, big enough quantities. Or how come I'm always giving it out to everyone else, but I'm not getting it for myself? And the number inside of that is to say, well, he loves and cares and gives all of his love away to others and not to himself. So this is like a really, like you're not an egoic guy. Like you are solid in yourself, but when it comes to serving yourself, it's like, oh no, dude, it's okay. Here, you go for it. And you're like going to be like, oh, as long as everyone's happy and served, then I'll take some. And by the time you get up, there's no more left. And that's the feeling that our love is going in your direction. Hey, it makes you a great friend. You'll always be there for your buddies. But then it gets a little annoying to think, how come I'm there for other people more than I'm there for myself? Like, what the hell? How come? Yeah, sorry.
The feeling of being a doormat.
Yeah, man, exactly. Like puppy dog boyfriend, no worries about me. It's all good. Whatever you need, I'll pay the bill. Or can I borrow some money? You're like, ah, sure. He's not going to pay you back, is he? And then like, oh, he needs it more than I do. And that feeling of just like, yeah, we're laying down for people. And again, great friend, welcome. You know, great host. So it's nice to be a doormat in certain situations, throwing a party. But if you're trying to live your life and make your success, you're like, damn it. So what we would do in a situation like this, right? Like, and say you're like, well, can I change my name legally? Like, does that work? Because if I'm giving you a letter, you're going to step up to a new outfit, feel different. That feeling shows up. That actually changes. And you're a sensitive, energetically sensitive guy. You could probably take a name on, look at it, and be like, zzz, or you could be like, ah, nothing. There's no vibe there for me. Like, we're really super into the feeling about stuff. And then we would rely on Josiah for this. Like intuition, turn clarity, turn like vision into wants to do business. The problem is like you're not using that name. That's like trapped in the inner side of your rib cage. You're like, let me out. Come on, I gotta get out. And that vibration is like, what are you supposed to learn in this life? The philosophical, the independent, the powerful, the wealth. It's like a main like vision board poster in the middle of your name. So we would take your full name and we would add the letter C or we'd add the letter L. So if you were to hide like Trahern Josiah C. Grennan or Trahern Josiah L. Grennan, now you're using all three words with a letter on top. This one says master male, master balance, like loving, caring. I want to take care of my family. I also want to have a long-term wealth and a community around me. Like the personal brand goes from the influencer to like the king of his castle. And that's like, I got people with me. I got go lives going everywhere. There's products being sold. People are getting better. And we're developing a community and a culture around this, like a family and business. So, and it works really well in both arenas, whether it's personal love, family love, community love, or all the way out to financial success. Because people get like, we buy based on emotion, right? And we justify based on logic. So
Yeah.
when you make this sale at the heart, people will convince themselves of some crazy shit. And it's just like, you know, because they buy you and they love your heart. They love where you're at. And that feeling is like, man, I get this. I get this. I've got a lot of those sixes in my life as well. And they beat me up. I was the doormat. I was the one who kept getting cheated on and was like, oh, no worry. Even in a situation like this, like I charged 268 US for an hour. And I'm like, I was listening to Grant Cardone. This is what inspired me. He's like, dude, I'd rather work for free than not work at all. I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, why wouldn't I want to go out there and inspire people and see who else needs this? Because right now that birthday is like spiritually overwhelming. Like you can't make it through a full party. You can't make it through a full event. You're like, it's enough. I got to get out of here. I'm just going to relax and de-stress and de-zone out. And that feeling is just because you're very sensitive to everyone else's energy. Like you're collecting it and you're filling your cup with it. And that's a problem because we just said a second ago, you ain't filling your own cup. And if that feeling is like, I'm not pouring myself love, I'm pouring it out, and I take home inside of myself love, I take home everyone else's nasty garbage ass energy, you gotta like smudge that shit and get some like crystals and stuff and like put on the megahertz on the YouTube and make sure you're listening to good vibes and just like increase your brain wavelengths. So you gotta go at full stops to make sure that this isn't gonna attack because that's a very difficult birthday to live. All 4 nines is like energetically massive. So to see this, I'm like, well, I'm like, you know, I want to do this guy's session. Let's see if he wants to do it. And I felt like I was like, why would I just want to like, you know, give out my time like that? No problem. I'm not going to try to convince him to buy it. I wasn't trying to make you buy it. I was like, I want to give him a session. And sometimes like I just get pulled into, and that feeling is like the universe is requesting me to fucking do some shit. And that's pretty cool. I like that. I like that feeling. And I, you know, it was a limiting belief of mine because 90% of my clients are women. And so, you know, I connect with them and the guys are like, oh, dude, what are you doing? Don't touch me. And so that feeling is like, I got to crack into the male market. I want to find my influential spiritual fellows and absolutely help them out. But it's pretty cool to look at this. I'm like, dude, that's crazy. It's a 90th birthday. And to think that your name is working right now, but it's not, it's like, keep your head down and work. And that's like hard nosed. Let's just figure it out. And this will be like, you know, I stepped away from the business for a bit. I had to do what was safe and practical, get the bills paid, all that kind of stuff. And that can be challenging because that's not, we're not proud of that. We're like, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to do the big thing. I want to make the big money. And that's what Josiah is saying on the inside. So one point would be, yes, take the C or the L. And then the other point, you could take the letter U. That would be kind of the same thing. And then after the C or the L, it would be either the letter N or the letter E or the letter W. So imagine you were to just spell Grennan with 2 N's. And you go Trahern Josiah Grennan, right? And you spell Grennan with an extra N in there, tucked in there. As an example, you could take it as an initial. This vibration has the same stroke of characters. Like I'll show you. Like so we're looking at the name, and I put it out of order, so it's just looking like that. And then underneath it, it says these numbers 8, 6, and 2. So this one is probably one of the more powerful ones that you could choose because when I take the word God, it has the exact same vibration. So we take God, and we see this 862. So there's like a spiritual resonance to, and this is what makes us truthers and conspiracists because we're calling bullshit. We're calling bullshit because we know the truth and we just don't know how to rationalize it. This is the number that says, look, I get it. My children are going to go run around, do whatever the hell they want. I'm going to create the economy of my design. I'm going to help people seek the truth. I'm going to help them find the kingdom of heaven right within them. Like the religious people would talk like that. Whereas business people are thinking, I care about this person to grow them into the wizard and help them create that lifestyle of their desire. They deserve to live their heaven dream lifestyle. And we got to clean up this place because it's too easy to copy paste the message and just be like, that's why I don't do this to 100 people at once.
Yeah.
One person at a time, and it's like it keeps you disciplined. It's like doing push-ups. So you absolutely connect. Can you connect with someone? They're going to test you, and someone's like, no, I'm not feeling it. You didn't come in at the right vibe. You didn't come in at the right level. I know I'm preaching to the choir. You train on this stuff, but that feeling is and that was what it was before. It was internet marketing. It was network marketing. And we're building our network. And in 5-foot rule, you're going to say hi to someone and offer value. Be a go-giver. So I was like, okay, let's give them the secret ingredient here, the secret tool, and it invests into my own bank account too. I get with your permission, to repurpose this for my media and like snip bits of it and talk about my story and that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, like this, and then what we get is now like session 1. We look at your name, we look at your birthday. Holy shit, good luck sleeping. It's like, what the hell did I just find? How the hell does this guy know me? He doesn't even know me. And this is like, there's something greater going on, and there's something greater truth that's like around us, that we're like when the Matrix, you see, he suddenly sees everything in code. You're like, whoa, this is nuts. So after this, we look at the code of your next 10-year swing. What's the value of the like the skies that are showing up in? I did want to get into that for you just to show you what it looked like. What I just did, I usually stretch it over an hour, and I give people like a really big song and dance experience around it, so it's really powerful. And then when I look at a second level product or something that I'm looking to do next, what I would do is I would look at your cycle year. So you're currently in the same cycle as the planet, because your numbers are 9 all the way around. So right now, and this is a really like powerful thing to have, because usually what the Earth says it's daytime and I'm in my nighttime, and I'm like trying to like find out when I'm trying to get the right thing going. You're in a nature alignment. So getting to water, getting to mountains, if you can find nature or even put it in your house somewhere, crystals or anything you can do to connect to the Earth, this is going to be super powerful for you to, you're like a naturally occurring ley line. So it's pretty nuts. Sorry, you're going to add?
I find that, like, okay, I just first want to quickly add that I was not prepared for this at all. I was not prepared for like how accurate all of this has been so far. I actually live about a half hour out of town in the boondocks because I can't stand the city. I gotta have nature, man. Like I'm looking out my window right now at the trees and stuff blowing in the wind, you know?
Oh yeah. Even I moved a little bit down the street. I used to live on the top of the mountain. I moved down the street, and it gives me anxiety. But it's crazy to think that you're and this is the sign of a master. If you were sitting in the city, and I have another friend of mine who's like this, and he's in a double 9, born in September, life path 9. He lives in the city. He's in depression, and he's like, I can't. He's like, he hates life. Broke up with his girlfriend. Broke up with him. Left him. Everything's just falling apart. And it's like, well, we see you're like, I gotta get away from that shit. I'm gonna sail by my. I don't want to be a part of the muck and mire. Like as soon as the signal's gone on the phone, we're like, oh, it's much better. And then like it can be almost distracting. So it's pretty cool, man. I'm glad that you're finding value in this. But you're a naturally occurring ley line. So you're a naturally occurring alignment to the planet, which is nice for magnetism. But this is a year for your inner child. So it can be tough because you may say, oh, I took a step back. That's like a intuitive call, because the universe is saying, or the planet anyway, is saying, take a step back, play some vids, enjoy, connect back to your inner you, have the fun, find the magic again, like grow the loving vibe inside of you. And then next year, 2020, it says, now get to work, because you're high on the love vibe. The 4 is going to be the part that says, I want to set some infrastructure in place. So if you've got any ideas that you're coming through, or any kind of new big things down the pipeline, you may find the doors open for business as of 2020, which is not a bad look. This can be you setting foundation, but this is a 9-year run. So when you set your foundations in, whether it be whatever new thing or whatever old thing, or who knows, you're like, maybe I might come back into gas. And that feeling is like you're kind of fulfilling your prophecy there, that this is where the stars have aligned for you to set an infrastructure for what you want to expand in 2021, which is a year of expansion, change, movement. You set free your minions. You're like, all right, we went through the training camp 2020, had a great time. Now 2021, go out there and seek in your own and plant your own flag and all of that. And hey, they're all connected directly back to you. Some affiliate thing, whatever it is that you're into. This is what you do. You set out your satellites. And this is a pretty powerful field, because then 2022 shows up as a year of stability and like long-term wealth, long-term family. So you're in like a pretty good spot, all things considered, that you're in a new path and that you're still in the introductory levels of it. So you still have a chance to own into your direction, to think, where do I really want to go? What's going to happen next? What's my 10-year vision? Because you come to a completion of that as of 2025. And we go from like 2022, right? Stabilizing 2023 reserved. You've earned your time to just sit back and just not do anything. And that's kind of like when you put all the ingredients in the pot and you're waiting for it to boil now and you're letting it simmer. And so it's reducing now. And then because 2024, we're eating now. This is it. We've been like, for me, it's going to look like events, retreats, workshops, programs, seminars. I'm teaching this on stage. I'm teaching this to a bunch of people. I'm already doing it over Zooms where I have like 35, 40 people in a chat. And we're, for 3 hours, I'm basically like training them numerology and giving everybody their own personalized reading. Like you're thinking like, man, this is nuts. I could listen to this for hours. People are sitting there for 3 hours and they're like, this time just went by. And we train them crash course on how, numerology can affect your life. And we give them the name of power. And it's a group effect, which is awesome, right? And plus, 111 US a person for 3 hours work at 40 people. You do the math. It's not a bad way to spend 3 hours, and I get one of those every week. So it's nice to have that because I get it. The Magic game's hard to crack. It's a lot of like loops and holes in there. It's not really where it needs to be, especially for me. I'm not there yet, but I found this to help all those entrepreneurs grab their stuff and take it to the next level. So we have this 10-year vision. And just to quickly top it off, because it's like, you go really deep. Some of this is like information overload. 2024, you're eating, there's a profit. We're harvesting like what you came to fruition. This is your multimillionaire year. And then 2025 is like, I got to get rid of everything now. I want to get rid of everything that's no longer serving me. All this stuff over the last 10 years that's holding energy. Let's sell it, donate it, recycle it, burn it, trash it, reuse it, gift it, whatever you like, get rid of everything. And then do the same thing on the inside. Like clothing, everything, house, car. And then on the inside, same thing. What, for me, I'm born in 84. So we're in our 30s. Actually, I guess you're 30 now. So in 10 years, you'll be 40. You're about to be 30.
Yeah.
In 10 years, you're about to be 40. Your kids are older. Now you got to buy them a car and weird stuff is happening. And, we're not in the same vision as you are 10 years ago. So the same thing with you. You'll probably be entering a new path in your version. Sorry, you want to add?
I was just going to say, so 2025 is more of a, okay, now I've accomplished all that stuff that I always dreamt about accomplishing. Now, it's more about getting rid of all the what do you call it, like the material goods and kind of working on like spirituality. Is that what you mean?
I would say that would be 2 years. The working on spirituality is never going to be far away from you. Like 2023 really shows up that way. But what I'm saying is that like materialistically, emotionally, energetically, memorially, like the stories you tell yourself, materialistically is just a really nice bonus because that way and you're a give it all back kind of guy anyway. Like that's your life path. So when you're in a 9-year, it'll be like the year of your life. You're like, man, I've done it. Now that I've accomplished everything, let's give it all away so that we can do the reset. And that what you give away, the world returns back to you 10 times. And now you're 10 years older. And it's like, 1,000 times wiser. And it's to be a pretty cool feeling to get involved in, when that thing happens. Because who knows what happens when you've accomplished all your dreams and you're 40. You're like, well, I better start having some new dreams. And, you're going to complete your cycle. You only get like 10 of these if you live to be a 90, right? So This is like a really big deal in life that we get a chance to up level there. So stuff to look forward to the future. Then when people after this, because this is like 6 months later that they work with me, 4 months later, 3 months later, they've made their money. Like, dude, I got a team now. What's next? And I give them this. Then after that, they're like, okay, great. And now I got to come back and I got to take care of my license plate. I got to take care of my email address. My domains have to be lined up. How does my bank cards look? And I teach you how to do this. I don't grab all your data and like, oh, that's where catfishes you. I'm like, no. I teach you the equation. You do it all yourself. Some people do pay me to do that. I'm like, damn, that's blind trust, bro. I get literally all of their information and I'm lining it all up for them. Social security, all of that stuff to make sure all of it lines up numerologically and you know where your pitfalls are. It's like your pitfalls are there.
And then you can hand it all back and say, oh, by the way, your bank account's empty now, but remember that thing that we did 2 years ago? Go do that again.
Yeah. And then huge life changes, having a baby, getting married, selling a house, buying a house, building. All of that stuff has an application here. It keeps me super busy, but it's like super fulfilling. Because then, people are like, damn, I met myself in a way that I didn't know myself before. I always knew it, but it never got that shown to me before. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's like being able to see it on the whiteboard kind of deal.
Exactly. Yeah, and like Balaj, Jang, Sherman, we talk to each other often because they want to know what's next. They want to know what's happening now. So now what? And you know, and they revere this information. So it's been pretty cool. It's been pretty badass, pretty solid. And yeah, man, I'm super blessed. I was able to give you like, you know, an insight into who you are. But then this report is not something I wrote. It's something I generated. It's Pythagoras numerology. It's not mine. It's just like
well, it's all numbers, so I'm assuming there's an algorithm.
yeah, exactly. And we're just a walking algorithm, and that's how I know all this stuff. It's like I didn't create your Facebook. I didn't, you know, like glue you into your mind. Like it's just these numbers they play an algorithm in our lives.
So you got up to 2025, and then out of a 10-year cycle. And so what's 2026?
Okay, so this is like the next frontier. So we're looking at you, like let's say you let go of everything, you're ready, and then you're not gonna finish your 10-year plan and then start a new 10-year dream. You're gonna have a rolling 10-year period. Like every year, your new 10-year vision comes out. So you're already gonna know things like, all right, Bobby said it. You know, this year is going to be about let go, because after this, I'm going to go start doing my next big thing. And what do you do when you make millions? You go and do events. You want to go and write a book, or, you know, come out with a new thing, or come out with something that's like uniquely yours, or, you know, there's some sort of system, training, branding, helping people. It's really, I mean, like, I know your life path. It's like you want to have impact in the world. It could just be, hey, I made millions. Now I'm going to go and build schools. Or now I'm going to go out there and actually create my school of the gifted, or like have my own private education for people in the world, entrepreneurs. I set up small little businesses everywhere, and whatever it is that shows up, maybe it's giving back. You can finally go and do things for the planet or help people in need. But it's all about starting a new idea. So it doesn't matter what the thing is. The one stands for, I've done it. Now I'm here. I made it to the next level. I'm a student again. What new direction have I gone into? What new business am I starting? What new multiple stream? Whatever's happening in my life that wants me to take into the new direction, it's okay to try new things now. This is a great time to start making acquisitions. Whereas in the year before, we're 2025, we're like, don't buy anything this year. Sell everything this year. If you can, put it off. Oh, I need a new car. Put it off, or get it the year before. Try to clear the calendar for, you know, because this is the time where you have to let go of a bunch of stuff. What did you do? What did you see? Life's tough. You almost lost your life. Like, that's a big thing. To think now you're like, oh, I'm lucky to be alive. She's lucky to be alive. We're letting go of that story. We're going to heal. That was a great learning lesson. And like things like that on the energetic level now start to come up. It's crazy. Because like all things considered, you're the guy who says, walk into the light. Like when someone passes, you're that energy that says this way. And so that's a very big role to live in life.
Oh, and, man, that gave me chills.
No, right? That's like, I heard like a beep in the background. I'm like, there was no beep. It was like the microphone got so silent that it carried feedback for itself for a minute. And
you heard a beep too?
I did, yeah, because the microphone.
And that wasn't on your end?
No, that was the microphone got so quiet that it heard infinite space, and that like was feedback from itself. Like, whoa, that like was like, bing. And I'm like, whoa, because I'm like, was that a beep? Did someone just message him? No, it wasn't a message, but that was like a spiritual.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
that was nuts, man. Like I didn't hear that anywhere else except for in my headphones.
Yeah, I heard a little tiny distinct little ping, and I'm like, oh, that's when the microphone catches itself, and it like kind of a little tiny echo is created, like a feedback loop. We just saw right into the universe in that super spiritual stuff. But this is like universe is kind of tapping you in the back, being like, bro, you're a big energy man. Like you gotta, and it gets to the most serious thing. Because what happens at the end? We die. Everyone does. Everyone shuts the light off. And so you're going to know people who go through that. And like, you know, you were so blessed to be able to grab your wife back and be like, not today. And you know, we're doing this, like we're going to keep going. And that's like a massive feeling to think one day you're going to process her energy. One day she's going to process yours. One day you're going to process your parents, or like someone's going to rely on you because you're like so far past the veil that it's like almost like inhuman. It's not even a regular, you can't even identify with an ego. It's almost so subdued because you care, love, doormat. It's like, that's the ego's version of saying, hey, I'm not taking care of myself. It's not that you don't like being a doormat. You're the entry point into a much larger spiritual direction. So at a higher level of consciousness, you're like, well, I guess I am a doormat because I don't really care about my own ego the same way that everyone does. I just want to serve. I want to help people through. But on the planet, we have to like kind of take our space a little bit. That was an actual beat this time.
That was an actual, yeah, that was, yep, that was an actual phone beep.
It's nice as well because the universe is giving us a ding, right? I like to pay attention to those, but you got to stand up for your ego a little bit. And I'm not saying, hey man, grab life by the balls. I'm saying take this little weird letter, one of them, whichever one gave you the ding inside of your head, and that feeling is to think this is going to help you vibrate, magnetize towards a sense of purpose, and actually actualize on your purpose instead of having that dream locked away in a safe deposit box inside of your soul. It says, I'm supposed to do this, but man, I just can't Josiah it up, right? So you have to really bring forth the value, because Josiah is it's other than being a really powerful, like name in spiritual terms, right? Like in biblical terms, inside of numerology, it says intuitive leader and balanced version of wealth. All the other names in your chart are not giving you that. It's like, oh no, it's okay, don't worry, it's gonna be a doormat. Or the Grennan's like, don't let him do that to you. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do, and they'll be screwed in that business to think I'm out there to get it for myself. And you're like, I'm just not that guy though, like I'm not. And it can be hard to live up to the parents' mantle kind of feeling because they're all about taking for the self, and you're kind of like the opposite when in that regard. And Josiah's kind of teaming up on that vibe to say, I know I have power, I know I have identity, I know I should be doing something. And so, pull the whole thing out, one letter, whatever you got to do. But right now, Trahern Brennan's working way too hard. Like you're working harder than you have to, and that's
I feel like it. I feel that way.
Like you're like the guy in a hamster wheel. Like you could power an entire city with that energy, but you're not actually gaining any distance, and yet you're working really hard, and the quality of your work is good. Like we can trust that for sure, because you're not messing around with it. You got ambition. And that intelligence factor is getting squeezed into a compact feel. That 4 is the symbol for $1. 8 is the symbol for magnetism, like infinite dollars. So when we squeeze down into a 4, you're the hardest working, smartest guy on the team site building someone else's business. And this is like, ouch! Like, don't say that again,
dude. Like, you know what? The reason, like, I got into whole online marketing and stuff like. It was over 3 years ago now, and after I came to the realization that like I'm just busting my balls to build somebody else's empire, and I was like, fuck that, I want to build my own empire. Like,
oh man, you just gave me so much clarity in my life right there, because I felt the same way. If I had to build my own business, but like appreciate you saying that. I just had a huge mind fuck right there. I was like,
I'm glad I could exchange some value there.
That's so true. We gotta be at the top of our own business for sure.
Yeah.
So any questions? I mean, obviously there's got to be like some revelations you want to dive into.
Oh, dude, like where do I even start? Okay. This might be a super weird question because you're not like. This is all based on like numbers and everything. I'm actually, maybe you might be able to give me clarity on something. I'm struggling right now with the decision, and the decision is, so I just took on a job. I work in the construction industry, and just took on a job in town, so I'm home with my kids and everything like this. But the construction industry, it seems to take me away from my family and my kids and all that sort of stuff. And I've been back home now for about 8 or 9 months now. And I just got a random job offer out of the blue, go out of town, do all that miserable crap all over again. I'm having a really difficult time saying no to the income. I'm really struggling with, is it the right thing for me to do? Because my main ambition right now, what I've been focusing on for the last month is learning how to become a really effective, to build an effective advertising agent or agency, right? And one thing that I'm actually saving up for is a course on that, which costs $4,000. So on one hand, I'm thinking, well, hey, this would be a really fast way to to build that income, which I could do with my current job right now, but it would be slow and steady, and it's going to take me a few months to meet that goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's something that you could like give clarity on.
What's the timeline here? Are we talking like 2019, or would this go into 2020?
What do you mean for?
Like if you were to take the quick punch, like this, get out of town, go to work.
Well, it's a 2-year project, but according to all the research and stuff that I've done, once I have my hands on that course, I can actually start implementing everything I've learned. Like it's not a go through this course, learn all this stuff, and then start implementing. You start implementing from day one the stuff that you learn. And so, I mean, I could have advertising clients within 24 hours of getting the course and everything started. You know what I mean?
The reason why I ask is that as 2020, things start to take foundation. So if you want to get set up, you're against the clock. And if this job offer is coming in, this is like, dude, here's your punch right here. You can get your shit handled. It's going to be a bit of a squeeze. I know you don't like being away from your family, but you know this is going to be the biggest bang for your buck right now. And if you already know what you're doing and you can go through it, I would say the best thing that you can take in there, would be like look at that right there, 4:44. I don't know what time it is where you're at.
Let's see.
You're in
4:44.
You're 12:44?
No, 4:44.
4:44. Okay, so we're in the same time zone.
Yeah.
So, and this is a spiritual message to say you're building a foundation. 4 stands for foundation. Go to work, go to work, go to work. And so that feeling is if you can go triple work, then you're going to have triple the bonus, triple the benefit. You imagine you can start making your money right now, grabbing agents or like start getting your clients a lot faster. And then you're primed, ready, set up for 2020. Because that thing is like, all right, whatever I've done is now starting to settle. And then the one big warning that would be like, hey, wait a second. You're going to have a lot of fun. So whether you go out there and you're like, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to enjoy. I'm just going to go out there and crack some jokes and help these guys feel good about themselves and take what I've learned about organic marketing and go into that level where you're in the most deepest, darkest feeling of work because it's miserable and people out there got the worst mindsets. And if you can go out there and like be a chameleon and not rock the boat by being, oh, this guy out here has got something up his ass, but at the same time still inspire them to have joy at the end of the day and to enjoy what they're doing. I think it's a win-win-win, in my opinion, but it's the price we pay to get through it. Right now, if I had the choice, I'd be like, I would do it because I know where I got to be in 3 months. I know where I got to be in a year, and I'm under the gun to think I want to get stuff happening. I'm going to invest. I'm going to work for free other than not work. Like I'm absolutely going to do that because I want to make sure the universe knows that I'm absolutely going to do whatever it fucking takes. And if that means that I've got to, do the hard work, there's another really spiritual thing that's happening right now. As a spiritual guy, you'll probably get a kick out of this. Jupiter is going through retrograde. So on the other side of your financial, big, huge dreams and desires and your love desires and all of the big wealth opportunity is this massive challenge in front of you that says, are you ready to take that? Are you ready to go in there and apply yourself? Because it's going to pull us to a great challenge. And this is happening until August. So it's literally like the next season and a half is like going to mess with us to think, I got to make the biggest sacrifice in order to get through this. So and here it shows you on a silver platter, random call, no, out of nowhere, like, man, should I take it? Should I do it? I'm like, you kind of have to. Because if you don't, you'll be beating yourself up later for it afterwards.
You want to hear something crazy? So, I'm just trying to think about the timeline of how this all played out here. So I got the call last night, just random, out of the blue, from one of my buddies that I used to work with, doing the miserable camp bullshit. And anyway, he tells me all about this job offer and everything. I go into work this morning, and I'm talking to my boss, and I just started a new project yesterday, construction project, with the company that I'm with. And he says, oh yeah, man, I got in big shit for mobilizing the job site and getting everything ready. He said he pulled the trigger a little bit too fast. There were some mistakes on the drawing. Anyway, it got delayed. And then the project that I just left was like really, really, really slow because we're like waiting for materials and everything like this. And so now it's like they're just like making shit up just to keep us busy, and like going to work is like agonizing because everything's just so slow. It's like working hard at hardly working kind of deal.
Yeah. But you got time with your kids, so it's like super, like, yeah, it's nice and steady. I'm close to home. I got my children there, and it's tough because, you would be putting a lot of because you're a loving guy, right? And it's all about the care and love and give to others. So it's not just the monetary time sacrifice, it's the emotional sacrifice you have to really acknowledge.
Well, yeah, that's the part that like is so heavy on my mind, because like when I would leave for camp, back when I was doing that, it was just like there was times when I would be driving away from my house just like having a nervous breakdown. And then like right now what's going through my mind when I think about it is my kids are to the point where they understand that dad's gone and he's not around, and just,
oh man, that's heavy.
Like it's heavy because I know I'm going to break their hearts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I take it, I'm going to completely break their heart.
And you gotta ask yourself, which heart do you want to break? This one, or I can't take you to Disneyland because daddy can't afford it, kind of break heart. Like which is the bigger one? And like if you're like, I'm just gonna get this done right now, I need the buy-in of my family, I'm gonna do this. That's that commitment to be like, once I take this course, it's gonna unravel and everything's gonna start to fall into place. And like, I'm never gonna do this again to them. And then you make that commitment, because that's a real like line in the sand moment for you to be like, dude, I gotta make that decision. I'm going to do this for my family. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And if it means I have to Skype them every day and play games with them over the phone and whatever, because that's what I do with my kids, right? They do all the funny little faces on Messenger, and and it breaks your heart, right? It would break my heart, absolutely. But then again, think, can you withstand the hold of all of that universe on top of you? Because that's that dramatic level of 9. It's like I feel their pain as if it's my own, and that can be super overwhelming. But in the spirit of Josiah, in the spirit of what you were here sent to this planet to really learn, you kind of have to. And right when we were talking about it, 444, like that's like a spiritual serendipity, if you want to talk about it that way.
That's insane.
And otherwise, you would have just picked staying or been like, nah. But the fact that you're considering it, you're like, Bobby, come on, man, talk me into it here. You got to sell me on this idea. And that's really what you're asking for. Because I hear it. Otherwise, you'd have been like, no, it's not worth it. I'm losing time with my kids. I'd rather pass up on the opportunity of a lifetime. Let's build it slow. It's like, man, that's like you're never going to be 30 anymore. Like your time is already moving really fast. You taking it slow isn't going to help anyone.
Mm-hmm.
How old are your kids?
My son is 9 and my daughter is 6.
So they're just about to that point where you're like, give me this one last time, okay? Like I promise I'm gonna take you guys to Disney World. Like and I made that promise to my kids. We're going to Disneyland in July. I'm like, fuck it, who cares? I'm not, and that really wasn't too big of a stretch. I'm like, well, we're gonna go anyway, but I'm gonna absolutely make sure we go in style and all that stuff. So I mean, like I made that commitment, and like, man, if you do it too, help me out here. That way we're getting it done. But imagine an agency client like their advertising agency. You link them up with me. Now, this is where the real big brain comes in, to think, link them up with me, put them all in a group session, whatever. I'll give them a discount. We'll all work it together. Suddenly their results get catapulted because they go through this experience and they're like, man, I find that conviction in myself. I can do anything. And if you had all of your people all doing that at once, you can see the gears clicking in there. It's like, man, it's crazy.
Dude, that's powerful.
Yeah, and then thus bringing into the reason why I'm actually here in the first place was like, let me help you grow your market. Let me help you grow your business. So I'm speaking from that. I'm like, you got to do the dirty work before you get to the, you can get it done.
That's insane.
Pretty crazy, right? And then what's insane is like, dude, I just saw it. I saw it. I can feel it. I can like it. The clouds part, the Red Sea parts. You see the goal, and you got to, and like me in my life, you got to run at the speed of business. So and I know what I'm going to be doing, but we'd be super honored to do that with you, dude. You're a great guy,
dude. That's insane. That's a excellent idea. and this I'm actually like 100% not against working for free, because like when you're starting out with something new, and I mean I think you mentioned how long you've been doing it. I can't remember.
2014.
Sorry.
2014.
2014. Okay, so you've been doing this for a while, but like with me starting out with something new, I've actually already taken on a couple free advertising clients.
Yep.
I haven't really gotten any great results for them.
Yep.
So far, but the thing is that I'm willing to put in the work and get the experience and everything, and it doesn't cost me a cent.
It's crazy. I give some sessions away free and they don't show up, and I'm like, if you only knew, and then people flake out on me. I'm like, I don't know what to say. I have to learn how to communicate better and sell myself better, I guess. But some meetings are fated. Like you can't avoid that. Like we were just supposed to happen, and I'm like super blessed for this opportunity, dude. Like this,
Yeah,
I promise this will be something you remember for a while.
dude. Oh, I'm going to, because like I was just like, okay, so you sent me that one picture of
Your
I
name.
think it looked like a page of a book,
Yeah, yeah.
and there was one thing I was reading through it. I was just like, numerology. Well, this doesn't really sound. This sounds a little bit hokey or whatever. And I was reading it, and I was just like, oh wow, this is actually really accurate. Except for one thing that I said in there about it said something about the artistic side,
Yeah.
and that they're not very really super artistic, or no, it was musically talented.
Yeah.
And I used to be a singer,
Yeah.
and I used to play in a band, like as lead singer and all that sort of stuff.
That's
And I
awesome.
was just like, oh, this is bullshit. But then I was like, wait a second, I'm not doing that anymore.
Oh, that's crazy.
Especially, and I did have some success with it, but obviously not enough, because I'm not doing it anymore. So I was like, okay, maybe there's something there.
Well, the thing is that Trahern says artist and creator performer. So there is a level of performance inside of you that's going to be like, this is a guy who's going to be good on stage. But the problem is it doesn't have the monetary tied to it. So the other party is like, well, I got to do this in life. And if that's not going to help me out, then I could do it, but it's just not going to get me anywhere. I would say that for your ego's sake, get out to an open mic, karaoke, jam with the boys, whatever you got to do to like let yourself sing would be one of the most like rejuvenating feelings for your soul, to like put you in flow state.
Oh man,
Yeah.
hell yeah! I haven't done that for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now. But the last year that I played, and that I really played, um, I played for 7 weddings. All that I wasn't advertising nothing. Like, these are all just people approaching me like, hey, you got to play at my wedding.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's seven weddings in 1 year, and it was just insane.
Crazy, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, see, performer. You can actually perform, like for a group of people. So,
Mhm.
and when you do that, you pull that flow state back into what you're doing. It's so super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? That has kind of shifted to a different. I think my like performance energy is kind of like shifting to more of a place where I want to be a speaker.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
Yep.
like I want to be the guy that pours in to other people.
Yep.
And show them that they're what their worth
Oh,
is, and their
dude, that's so
capabilities, and all
awesome.
that sort of stuff.
So I'd love to keep going. I have a meeting in 5 minutes with I'm creating an app for this. So I basically
Nice.
just like put your name in there and it'll tell you a little quick blurb. So my app guy are going to hang out in 5 minutes. But did one of these letters poke out at you, or is this something that you're going to seriously have to consider? Talk to the wife, let her watch the replay, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna have to watch the replay and see um, about these letters here.
Okay.
Now, uh, what's his name? Blush.
Yeah.
He just added a W to his name. Like, does the W stand for anything, or is it just a letter?
It's just a letter.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then he went from party boy central. I'm high school buddies with him. I'm like, I can't keep up with you. To now never leaving the ground, like never losing. Like he never stopped. He never came back. He just left the ground and he never came back. And now he's making millions of dollars a month. And it's like, hey, it's a 10-year feel. but he wanted to go out there and that with the DM or V for you would assume a global position. So global stages, global events, different countries, working in different time zones. Like you absolutely want to create a powerful vision in that. Or in my level would be like the BK or T. That's the number I have. And that's like family business, work from home, do this thing from my, so I have my kids right outside the door kind of thing.
So DMV would be like the global thing, is what you said.
That's Balaj level. And he paused on kids. He paused on the house. He got it done. And now he's coming back for his family. Whereas mine was like, I got to do all of them. And I got to juggle everything at the same time.
Mm. And I've already got the family and the kid thing and everything. I'm not having any more kids.
Exactly. So you may already be, and plus, Trahern Had is actually a good looking name. Like it's going to have ambition for work. So you're going to get stuff done. You may be looking for that launch point now. Looking at your birthday, I'm like, well, obviously, no doubt, he's got to take a name that's right up there. But just be patient with yourself because this year's going to require you to have fun, which is like, man, this is crazy. So you go out to the work camp, you're like, yo, guys, let's grab some beers and do like a rap video or whatever, or the rap star game, the one on the video game, right?
Yeah.
Def Jam, whatever it is. Well, I don't know what you sing. I used to freestyle as a kid. So it's like for us, we would just jam and just have a fun time. Grab a guitar, let's figure it out. Someone quickly do some beatboxing, and we're good to run. I love music. I'm reminded I really should get some stuff done too.
Yeah, no, I definitely love. You did say one thing that jumped out a little bit. You referred to a chameleon. One of my favorite songs is called "Chameleon Boy" by Blue October.
There you go. That's what's up.
And he's talking about becoming. He's talking about becoming another person to reflect what everybody else wants.
Oh, you be careful with that though, man. That's like the gift and the curse, right? You can get anything done, but you lose your identity in that process.
Well, yeah, and the feeling that I get when I listen to that song is kind of like it could be powerful, but at the moment it's not because you're not. It's like I'm not taking care of myself. Yeah. And taking care of everybody else. That's the feeling I get.
Hey, man, give me like 5 minutes. I'm going to send you something really cool, and I appreciate you so much for this. This was really cool.
Oh, man, I appreciate you doing this. This is way more power. Like I said, I was not prepared for this at all.
Hey, help me out. Tell your people. Let people know that this exists, and like speak on it, and let's get creative because I would love to be a part of what you're about to do. Like I've been calling in the bigs. I've been calling in the people like, can we help each other? Is there a thing there? You're like, potentially there is. And now that it's coming together, I think it's more than just a potential. I think we should probably do something.
Oh, man, I agree 100%.
Buddy. All right, man, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man, have a good one. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Great, take care.
Cheers.